If you want to waste a lot of money, I would say don't. Don't go out and buy it. So let's talk about one of the most polarizing things in photography. I know it's a stupid joke, but it's my channel and I can tell stupid jokes if I want to. Let's talk about polarizing filters. Let's talk about what they do, where to buy them, how much they're going to cost, and whether they actually work or not. So, who am I? My name is Mike Patterson, and I've been a professional, full-time photographer located here in Southern Alberta, Canada for over 39 years. I'm a photographer that runs a photo studio, and I also run a photo lab where I print for many other people. I teach people photography, I mentor people, and I also watch YouTube and I read a lot of social media posts about photography, and I see how wrong it is. So years ago, I started a YouTube channel to give you the truth about photography. And lately, one of the huge issues with photography has been polarizing filters. And I've read posts that you need a polarizing filter all the time on your lens. I've heard videos from people that have said polarizing filters more time in their video than I've said in my entire life. And then I see these people taking pictures in future videos and they don't have a polarizing filter on. So why are they advertising this? Because it's the hot thing to say constantly, or they're making a kickback on it. But let's talk about what polarizing filters actually do. So what does a polarizing filter do? It's simple. Polarizing filter, if it's on your camera in front of the lens, will take the light that's coming to your camera and it will redirect it. And when it redirects it, it stops you from getting that reflection. It stops you from getting burned out highlights. It'll stop you, or shall I say, it'll make your colors richer than what you would get without the polarizing filter. But it doesn't work in every situation. So don't think that you need one for every one of your lenses, and don't think that you need one for every time you take a picture, because sometimes it won't work. A perfect example. A polarizing filter will not work when shooting a sunset because the light rays are too low and they're not coming back to your camera. A polarizing filter will not work in a lot of nature and wildlife pictures when it's an overcast day, when there's not light rays. It just doesn't do anything. It may do a little bit, but it doesn't work properly. So let's get into types of polarizing filters. Well, there's actually two types. There's what's called a linear polarizing filter, and there's a circular polarizing filter. A linear polarizing filter was developed years ago before autofocus cameras. The problem is with an autofocus camera, when you're firing the focus beam through the filter, when it's a linear polarizing, it messes it up. So they had to make what's called a circular polarizing filter so that the camera isn't affected as much, if at all, from the polarizing filter. And most cameras, they just ignore that it's there if it's a circular polarizing filter. But, and here's a big thing, it's a huge thing. Don't buy filters that are cheap online. Don't buy filters that are at a garage sale or a secondhand shop unless you're 100% guaranteed that it's a circular polarizing filter. I have many customers come in here that get a whole pack of filters at a garage sale for $1 or $2, and they come in here and they don't say they're circular polarizing filter, they say polarizing filter. And I can't tell them. Is it one or is it the other? Try it and see. But chances are it's probably not a circular polarizing filter. Usually circular polarizing filters will say CPL. So C is circular, PL stands for polarizing filter. It usually says it on the container. It usually says it even on the side of the filter. So that's, first of all, the different types. Now let's talk about manufacturers. Yes, you can go on Amazon, and yes, you can order one for $1.99 with free shipping delivered tomorrow to your door. Chances are it's either garbage or it's not even a real polarizing filter. I recommend Kenko, Kenko, Tiffin, or B&W. Those are your best brands. Now, unfortunately, like everything in life, they've made it more difficult because some of them have made different levels. They have an introductory level, they have a intermediate level, and they have the pro level. And of course, the price goes up substantially. So some places you can go and get one that's labeled as one company for $14.99 at this discount place. And then you go to a camera shop and it's the same manufacturer, but now it's got a different little thing on it saying platinum or saying pro or saying semi-pro or whatever, saying gold version, and it's $100. And then you look and they have this professional version for $4.99. So which one should you go with? I recommend the middle line. Now in Canada, a middle line, buying a 67 millimeter filter will run you about $10, $120 plus minus in that area. If you buy a bigger filter, it'll be more money, even though it's the same line. If you buy the smaller filter, it'll be less money. So what size filter do you need? Well, here's what I recommend. Buy a polarizing filter, circular polarizing filter, for the lens that you use the most to do your nature, to do your scenic pictures, or even people pictures if you want to reduce reflection in glasses. Don't buy a bunch of them, just buy one and try it. In some situations, it's going to work wonderful. If you find that it works really, really well, then what I recommend is go out and buy one for the biggest lens you have. Let's say it's a 77 millimeter lens. So you get a 77 millimeter filter that'll screw onto the end of it. And let's say you also have a 67 millimeter filter or lens with the same filter, with a 67 millimeter filter size. That was hard to get out. Then what I recommend is you buy a step-down ring. And what a step-down ring does is you screw the filter into the step-down ring, and then the step-down ring screws onto the lens. So you can actually reduce it a size. I don't recommend reducing it too much because it moves the filter too far away from the lens and it can cause issues. So watch for that. All right, now let's talk about where I use them and what I use them for and what do they do. The biggest reason that I use them is in my business here when I'm doing copy work of other artists' work, whether it be paintings or whether it be photographs that are put behind glass. And people bring them into me and say, I need a copy of this. Can you copy it? And if it's acrylics, if it's epoxy, if it's something that's really reflective and it's really shiny, if I just take a picture of it in my studio, I will get highlights, I will get reflections, I will get horrible stuff on it. So to show you how it works, I did some pictures. So the first picture I did in my copy room, and I took a picture of one of my pictures that's behind glass. As you can see, there's a lot of reflection to it. It's horrible. It washed it out. It looks horrible. I then turned the circular polarizing filter a little bit, and it got rid of some of the light. It looks better. It really does, but it's not perfect. Then I turned it a little bit more to get rid of all the light rays. And it's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. That's what a polarizing filter will do for me. I also use it for when I'm taking pictures of people with glasses outside that I may get a reflection in. It works sometimes. Other times, it just doesn't work at all. It may reduce it a little bit, but it may not reduce it completely. Now, the other night, I was at home, and there was actually a storm blowing through, and there was big white puffy clouds, and I thought this would be perfect to show you guys what it will do in the nature area. So I grabbed a camera, grabbed a lens, took a picture of the sky without a polarizing filter on it. It's nice, it really is, but then I put a polarizing filter on it, and I turned the polarizing filter a little bit, and it made the blue a little bit darker, and it made the clouds a little bit punchier. I then took a picture with turning it a little bit more to what's called the sweet spot of the polarizing filter, and it blued the sky up, if that's even a word, made the sky more blue, and it gave the clouds a little bit more punchiness to them, made them stand out a little bit. That's what a polarizing filter does. That's what helps the polarizing filter to do the best it can do, is in situations like that. When doesn't it work? It doesn't work for sunsets. It doesn't work on most overcast days. It doesn't work in a lot of situations where the light rays are not coming back to the camera. It just doesn't. So, do I think you should buy a circular polarizing filter or a polarizing filter? I always call them circular polarizing filters. If you want to improve your photography and try it, go for it. If you want to waste a lot of money, I would say don't. Don't go out and buy it without knowing what it's going to do and without trying it for your photography. Don't take what these people are saying online and go out and buy 5 filters to find that you're never going to use them. Get one, try it, see how it works. So, until next time, have a great day. Get out there, take some amazing pictures, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.